Rushing Manhua. Kim Dok-yoon has just heard from the devil himself that as long as he lives, she will never die. But what does that mean? What will be the reaction of our unlucky dear to this situation? Will she have to live in that mansion for the rest of her life without being able to take a single step outside? Dok-yoon is surprised by the tremendous care that our protagonist has for her. Just being useful to him wouldn't be enough for him to do all that for her, so she asks why he is going so far for her. The devil puts his hand on his chin and asks himself, why? And he replies that it's just because she's useful to him. Dok-yoon asks what kind of utility was he talking about? Would it be the ability to bear fruit? Then she says she tried to generate that amount of fruit as planned that day, but it didn't seem to work very well. So our prota says to her, right, I have already told you that it will not be easy to fill even a single glass bottle. No matter how much these emotions impact you, you will not just feel this 24/7. The same goes for the sense of disillusion. It will not stay around all the time. But before he could finish his thought, Dok-yoon cuts him off and asks about a possibility. What if a day came when she was no longer able to produce the fruits, and the quality he calls useful would disappear? Would he still protect her from her misfortune like he said earlier? As she asks him about this possibility, Rom-young stares at the watch in his hands. Then he closes that clock very tightly and gets up from the chair, saying that he never said that bearing fruit was its only purpose. After hearing this, the girl is speechless. What do you mean it's not her only purpose? So what would be the others? Rom-yoon slams his hand on the table and says he is running out of time. So he pushes the cake with the antidote into the unlucky woman's mouth and tells her to eat it first and then talk. In the mansion's immense garden, Alfred takes his hat and taps it to remove the dust. But suddenly, he notices someone approaching. A man with white hair and formal clothes walked slowly towards him across the huge green field in that garden. The mysterious guy was looking closely at Alfred. Apparently, he was carrying some cards in his hand. Without thinking twice, our butler silently takes a knife from his back pocket. The man looks fixedly at those cards. What the hell is that? Then he stops walking and looks at Alfred once again. And the only word our butler can say to that man is, who? Before he could ask who he was, that mysterious guy jumped with extreme speed and flew away with his demon wings. Alfred realizes that something was very wrong and that some really big shit was about to stink. So he quickly runs towards the mansion saying, a demon. That guy arrived at the top of the mansion in a matter of seconds, desperate. The butler opens the doors of the mansion with all his strength, and there was our unlucky dear eating the blue larva cake, delicious. And our protagonist pointed at something that was coming with his finger covered in cake. Alfred arrives in time, placing the hat on Dok-yoon's head, saying that she forgot it in the garden. They both look amazed. Could this butler have used some kind of drug? Why the hell is he in such a hurry? Alfred passes straight to the other side of the mansion and looks up. Without finding anything, he looks everywhere. Where is that wretch? Dok-yoon and Ruam-yoon leave the kitchen, and then Bafomi asks Sho-yoon what was going on. Then he asks if he supposedly invited a friend to visit him at home. After hearing this, our protagonist makes an extremely funny face and responds by saying, friend? Then Alfred thought, he's definitely not his friend, because Ruam-yoon is a completely quiet and antisocial guy. With a dumb face, Ruam-yoon asks what he was looking at. Alfred quickly pulls out his knife. Someone was approaching, and well, it was just the postman saying that a delivery had arrived, poor guy. He shit his pants. After seeing who it was, the butler puts away his knife in relief. With a butler like that who needs security, right? Alfred opens the gate for the postman to enter, apologizing, saying that he was scared and that he hadn't realized it was the postman. On the other side, Ruam-yoon said, a package? There shouldn't be anything like this coming to our house. So our demon takes the package, and in the bottom right corner there was a little devil symbol stuck with indecipherable writing because it's in Japanese, Chinese, I don't know, whoever knows, let me know in the comments. And well, Ruam-yoon says that delivery was for Dok-yoon. Surprised, she says, how does anyone know I'm here? I have not told anyone about my move yet. Then she tears up the package, and in the background our protagonist calls the butler. He asks about the luck demon. Alfred asks if he's talking about the devil Ruyuk. And look guys, we finally found out the name of the main villain of this thing. Rom-young says yes, it's about him, and asks what happened to him that day. Alfred says he disappeared somewhere groaning with a fatal injury to his abdomen. Ruam-yoon thinks he was the one who sent the package. Meanwhile, the unlucky girl takes a red card from inside the packet. Curious, our protagonist tries to see what the hell it was, and well, it was simply a lottery ticket. Knowing the history of our unlucky protagonist well, we know that she could never even come close to something like that. Dok-yoon, extremely scared, puts her hand over her mouth. What does that mean? Our protagonist asks if she's okay. Why was her face like that? Well, grab your time machines because we're going back in time, specifically to a year ago. There was Dokyun with her hand raised. She asked if there was anyone more unfortunate than her in that place. Then a friend of hers asks why she was talking about it so suddenly. So our unlucky girl responds that she bought lottery tickets every week for exactly 10 years, and yet she never won 5,000 yuans, which is approximately $3.69. Yes, ridiculously little. After she said this, another friend asks her why she keeps buying these things. Is she rebelling against destiny? Dokyun makes an emotionless face, just like the one Saitama makes, and says it's just a fruit of her faith. When misfortune accumulates to this point, there is a belief that it will eventually turn into luck. Then she asks who at that table will lend her some luck that day. Her friend asks if she would buy another ticket again. And well, leaving the extras aside, another of Dokyun's friends with a very strong face, the main character, quickly puts her hand on the table and says, "I'm going to lend you some luck." And like a good friendship, the two shake hands, stare at each other's faces, while our unlucky dear says, "As expected of Ruang Yerin, I knew that." And her faithful squire says, "Shall we go out then, to test our luck?" Then the two walk out the door humming, "Let's go now. Lottery ticket? Here we go." So they went to buy that again. Arriving in the city center, the two stopped in front of an establishment and started talking. "You remember that I won an event recently and I won AirPods, right?" "Yes, I remember. That's why I trust you. Even if it's only 5,000 wins, share a little of your luck with me." And well, there was the unfortunate demon of luck sitting in a tent behind our poor Dokyun. This was the first contact between the two of them. What a shame. I was placed fourth. After hearing this, Dokyun is shocked by some people's level of luck. "Wow, if it's fourth place, that's 50,000 winnings. I am jealous." So the unlucky one goes to the lottery and buys a bunch of tickets. She gives one to her friend and says, "Come on, take an experiment. It's my way to thank you for coming with me." Then Yerin responds, "Are you sure? I may get lucky and win, and that could cause a huge fight between us." So Dokyun, who is no fool at all, says that if that happens, they should share the prize. But apparently their happy days are about to end. Ruyuk, the demon of luck, approaches Dokyun and catches the girl's attention. Without understanding anything, our protagonist responds to him. It's nothing suspicious for a hooded guy with a scary look to suddenly come talk to you in the alley, right? The lucky guy asks Dokyun if she would like to exchange just one of the lottery tickets she just bought for his. So she responds to him by asking why. But the devil is very smart and offers the winning ticket that he managed to win in fourth place in exchange for one of her tickets. The offer was very tempting after all. It was 50,000 yuans that the guy was going to give her for free. But that was very suspicious. Dokyun asks him, "You could just take the 50,000 winning prize and use that money to buy more tickets, no?" And well, we can't say that this devil isn't sincere, because what he just said is the most blatant thing someone like him could say. "No, I want to buy your luck for 50,000 yuans. The girls don't understand what he means by that. Haha, what does this mean for mean? It sounds like an advantageous offer, doesn't it? So Dokyun takes out her ticket and points it at the lucky guy, saying that it was okay to make the switch, but she tells him that she has terrible luck and asks if that was some kind of joke. The demon takes the note from her and says it was okay because he was lucky. Before the exchange actually takes place, Dokyun asks again if he really wanted to make that exchange. After all, her ticket was much weaker than his. And the lucky person confirms. And well, not everything is rosy. When the tickets were about to be exchanged, Ruyuk says, "Oh, and just so you know, this is a contract to exchange your luck between you and me, okay?" And well, the exchange was carried out successfully. Dokyun in his mind said, "How absurd. Let's rescue quickly and go home." And that's how she accepted the contract with the luck demon. She was extremely happy with the exchange, jumping for joy. "Yes, 50,000 won. Jackpot. This is amazing. Where can we exchange money, huh?" "I don't know. I've never done this before, so I'm not sure." Then Dokyun takes a look at the stall where the lucky demon was. He was checking the lucky ticket he had exchanged with her. But she doesn't care much. She says to her friend that that award would probably be enough to get a piece of cake. And suddenly, luck. "Have you ever heard of a devil who steals luck?" says the devil himself. Dokyun asks what he meant by that, so Ruyuk says he was that demon. Our poor, unlucky girl looks at him with a disdainful face, possibly thinking he was a lunatic. The lucky demon holds the ticket exchanged with Dokyun, giving a big, evil smile, and shows the prize he just won with the ticket that was previously hers, 500 million yuans. Yes. Guys, honestly, if I were poor Dokyun, I would throw myself off a building at that exact moment. Dokyun looks at that note and says, "What is that supposed to mean? Are you serious?" And Ryuk responds, "Yes, you just spent 500 million yuans earned by passing your luck to me. Lies! You're kidding, right?" Then the demon of luck knocks on the table and tells her next time not to casually make pacts with unknown demons. And walking away, he stops walking and says, "There will be no next time also. People who have had their luck robbed will live as unhappy as the size of luck they got." As he says this, he burns the winning ticket worth 500 million yuans. After all, the only thing this devil wants is to just see the circus on fire. The two girls looked at it very astonished. After he lit that note on fire without any lighter, I think they realized he was being very serious. And there was Dokyun. Part of his soul was shattered right before his eyes at that very moment. In the end, they will die a horrible way. Dokyun feels an immense tightness in his chest, and he squeezes it very hard. Her friend asks her what's wrong. Dokyun loses his breath. Her friend realizes something is very wrong and says, "Hey, I'm sure it was all a hoax. This crazy bastard is just playing with people with these types of parts." Then she runs to confront Ryuk. "Hey, do you find this funny? Then try to do this deal with me too. And what is this luck thing? Go ahead and try it. Let's see if you win first place. If not, I will really kill you. You are messing up with people's lives. You know it." And then those yellow, glowing, demonic eyes look at her with immense contempt. He says he's not kidding. Dokyun was feeling really bad and asked them to just leave, and says she feels like something inside her shut down. She was feeling uncomfortable for some reason. Her friend gets down on her knees and asks what she means by that. Would she be feeling sick? Dokyun says she's not sure, but there was a time she was there. She says that man didn't look like a human. He wasn't a human for sure, so she asked to leave that place. Her friend sounded cold and said everything was fine. Then she lets go of our poor, unlucky girl's hand and says that in this case, she would hurry up and get the lottery tickets and get out of there. But when she went to pick up the first ticket from the floor, the luck demon picks it up first and says to her, "Didn't you say we should make a deal? If you want me to give you this, you must tell me what you want." The girl, seeing everything that happened to Dokyun, doesn't answer him directly and screams telling him to get out of there or she would call the police. Fokyun says to forget about it and just leave. Yerin looks at Dokyun wanting to do something because he couldn't get away with it that easily. But soon the lucky guy arrives and says, "Kim Dokyun, you don't look good, are you okay?" Dokyun's friend is amazed by that guy. "Hey, how do you know Dokyung's name?" Then he says that after signing a contract with someone, he knows everything about that person automatically and categorically says everything about Dokyun, something that only her mother would know. She was born in Daejeon at 11:24 a.m. on August 12, 1996. "And you don't have any religion, right?" The girl grabs the boy by the collar of his shirt and asks if he is some kind of crazy stalker. Then he asks if she knows why her friend was feeling so uncomfortable, and he says it's because she's probably aware of the fate that could befall her. The girl asks once again for that guy to stop talking, otherwise she would take him to the police. And he continues, "Kim Dokyung, 27 years old. From now on, you will live in terrible misfortune. You are not aware of this now, but it is one of the worst things a normal human being can experience in his life. Let's see each other very often, do you understand? You will keep trying to get hope and keep living, but it will reach a point that no one will want you around. At that moment, you will die alone." After he utters these words, Dokyun screams. She becomes extremely breathless. Her friend tells him to stop playing around, and then she does the same thing as him. "I can say bad things like that to you too. If you keep saying to others words as meaningful as these, someone will hit you and you will die miserable." And well, Ryuk just watches and says that she is quite lucky. Thanks to her luck, he didn't notice her first. That's why he went after Dokyun first. Then Yerin remembers moments before all this shit happened. "In that case, is there anyone who would like to share a little of their luck with me today? I'll lend you some. You knew I recently won a pair of AirPods in a lucky event, didn't you? Coming from you, I believe even a little would be enough. Please lend me a little of your luck." And well, after remembering this, Yerin blindly believes that he is just an annoying guy who was spying on them. Then she says that if he wants to make the pact with her, he should eat the lottery ticket that was in her hand. In return, he was never to appear in front of them again. Without thinking twice, the devil asks if those were the terms of the contract, but after he asks that, Yerin gets even angrier and asks if he keeps talking, so she takes Dokyun's hand and starts walking away from there. What the hell is all this good luck? Let's leave him Dokyung. Ugh! What a scary bastard. So Ryuk stays behind and he says that even if they leave, her luck is already in jeopardy. Dokyun's friend doesn't know when to stop. She wants to ruin both of their lives even more. She stops walking and says, "You You are totally wrong. You said that someday nobody will want Dokyung near them, and then she will die alone, right? Screw it. As long as I'm here, this will never happen. Then the lucky one takes that note in his hand and watches carefully. And well, we're back to the present. Home sweet home. How good it is to come out of a flashback. Rumyun asks what was wrong with Dokyun, and well, now we know the value that note has for our poor unlucky girl, right? Dokyun looks at our protagonist and asks if he has a coin. Rumyung takes the knife for Alfred. Our butler quickly gives it 3 very stylish spins and hands it to Dokyun. Then she starts to scratch the ticket, and Rumyung says that the ticket is past its expiration date and asks if that ticket was hers. And she says, no, it belonged to a friend. Her face observes the award she had shaved. And, well, failure. Try again. Our protagonist doesn't understand the value of that and looks at Dokyun's face. The girl was bursting into tears. Hey, okay, it's a normal likelihood of failing on these tickets. Why are you crying? And there was Yelin in front of the bridge in that huge lake next to the buildings. Dokyung, you're going to be fine because I have always been lucky. I'm just going to give you all my luck. Same after my life was ruined because of that devil. It is not your fault. Please don't die, Dokyun. And well, these were Dokyun's last memories with Yelin. That is, Dokyun only didn't die all these years because of Yelin, who gave all her luck in exchange for Dokyun's life. Our poor unlucky girl cries without stopping in the middle of that devil's garden. That's all, guys. Leave a like and subscribe to follow the next videos. If you want to continue this work or there is another one that you want to become a video, comment below. Bye.